1 5-gallon bucket, 1 pound of ordinary potatoes, a handful of forest soil, some sea salt, and 5 minutes of your time. That is all you need to create a living biological factory that can double itself every 48 hours inside your garage. Not fertilizer, not compost, not another overpriced bottle from the gardening aisle. What you are about to see is a self-replicating microbial colony capable of producing multiple plant hormones naturally. The same hormones commercial agriculture sells in products costing $30, $40, sometimes even $50 per bottle. The agricultural industry calls them plant growth regulators. Scientists call them phytohormones. But Korean farmers discovered how to grow them in a bucket over half a century ago, and they gave the recipe away for free. Inside this strange, bubbling liquid are living microorganisms that influence root growth, stem development, seed, germination, disease, resistance, and fruit production. These microbes manufacture auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, and other growth compounds automatically as part of their normal biology. And every 48 hours, the colony multiplies itself again, which raises an uncomfortable question. If ordinary people can culture these organisms at home using potatoes and forest soil, then why is the global biofertilizer industry worth billions of dollars? By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how this Korean grow bucket works, the science hidden inside it, and why modern agriculture would rather sell you biology than teach you how to grow it yourself. Welcome to Buried Knowledge, where forgotten wisdom rises back to the surface. To understand why this strange microbial bucket works, you need to go back to South Korea in the 1960s. At the time, the country was being pulled into the global green revolution. Chemical fertilizers and synthetic agricultural products were being promoted as the future of farming. At first, yields increased dramatically, but then something changed. The soil began dying. Fields that had fed the same families for generations suddenly became dependent on imported chemicals every single season. Crops weakened. Disease pressure increased. Farmers needed larger and larger doses just to maintain the same harvests. One young Korean farmer named Cho Han-kyu refused to accept it. Instead of looking at chemical factories, he began studying forests. Because underneath every healthy forest floor, he noticed something extraordinary. The soil was dark, soft, moist, and alive with microscopic activity. Trees had been growing there for centuries, without synthetic fertilizer, without tilling, and without human intervention. The forest was building fertility by itself. That observation changed everything. Cho Han-kyu spent decades asking a dangerous question. If a forest can fertilize itself naturally, why can't a farm do the same? His answer became Korean natural farming, or KNF. At the center of the system was a simple idea: healthy soil is not dirt. Healthy soil is a living ecosystem dominated by microorganisms. If farmers could collect those native microbes from healthy forest soil, multiply them, and introduce them into farmland, they could rebuild fertility naturally. He called these microbes indigenous microorganisms, or IMO. Later, his son Cho Young-sang simplified the entire process into something faster and easier, called Jadam. And that is where the viral grow bucket was born. A complete living microbial system, built with nothing more than water potatoes, salt, and forest soil. What makes this Korean grow bucket so powerful is not magic, it is microbiology. And surprisingly, modern science has spent decades proving that these microorganisms really do produce natural plant hormones. In the 1940s and 1970s, researchers from the United States Department of Agriculture began studying mysterious growth compounds found inside plant pollen. After years of experiments, they discovered an entirely new class of plant hormones called brassinosteroids. These compounds behaved almost like steroids inside plants. Even in tiny concentrations, they controlled cell division, root formation, stem elongation, photosynthesis, seed, germination, and resistance to environmental stress. At the time, scientists believed these hormones only came directly from plants themselves. But later research revealed something much bigger. The bacteria living in healthy forest soils were producing many of the same compounds naturally. Microbial species commonly found inside Jadam Microbial Solutions, including Bacillus pseudomonas, Azospirillum, and other beneficial bacteria, are now scientifically confirmed to produce auxins, cytokinins, gibberellins, and brassinosteroid-like substances as part of their normal metabolism, which means the Korean grow bucket is not simply feeding plants. It is creating a living hormone factory. Here is what actually happens inside the bucket. The potato provides starch and carbohydrates. The sea salt provides minerals and stabilizes the microbial environment. The forest soil introduces a massive population of microorganisms collected directly from nature. Then the water activates the entire system. Within 24 hours, aerobic bacteria begin multiplying explosively. Within 48 hours, the colony often doubles several times. Foam forms on the surface as microbial activity accelerates. And during this explosive growth phase, the microbes begin producing plant hormones continuously. When you apply the liquid to your soil, you are not just watering your plants. You are adding billions of living microorganisms, along with a complex cocktail of natural growth compounds that continue reproducing directly inside the garden itself. That is why many gardeners report darker soil, faster growth, stronger roots, and dramatically healthier plants after only a few applications. Now, here is where the story becomes uncomfortable. Because once you understand what is happening inside that bucket, an obvious question appears. If ordinary people can grow these microbial communities at home for almost nothing, then why does the biofertilizer industry make billions of dollars selling the same biology back to gardeners? The answer is not that commercial products are fake. Many of them genuinely work. The answer is control. Commercial agricultural products are standardized. Every bottle contains a carefully measured strain of bacteria at an exact concentration. That consistency makes large-scale industrial farming predictable. But nature does not work like a factory. A bucket of Jadam solution contains a constantly shifting ecosystem of diverse microorganisms. The exact biology changes depending on the forest soil, the temperature, the water source, and even the season. Industrial agriculture dislikes that variability. But home gardens thrive on it. Because in ecology, diversity creates resilience. The industry also benefits from complexity. Walk into any garden center, and you will see shelves filled with scientific packaging covered in microscope imagery, technical terminology, and laboratory branding. The products look advanced, expensive, professional. A bucket of fermenting potato water does not look impressive. It looks simple. Too simple. And nobody builds a billion-dollar market around something that looks like peasant knowledge. But scientifically, the microbes inside that bucket are performing many of the exact same biological functions. The real reason this knowledge stayed hidden for so long was cultural and linguistic. Most early Korean natural farming and Jadam teachings existed only in Korean for decades. While Korean farmers quietly cultured their own microbial fertilizers at home, English-speaking gardeners were often paying enormous prices for imported commercial inoculants. The knowledge was never secret. It was simply trapped behind language barriers. Now let's build the bucket itself. The setup is surprisingly simple, but the details matter. First, you need a standard 5-gallon plastic bucket. Do not use metal containers. The fermentation process becomes slightly acidic, and metal can interfere with microbial activity over time. Next, fill the bucket with about 4 gallons of non-chlorinated water. This step is critical. Chlorine is designed to kill microorganisms, which means chlorinated tap water can destroy the microbial colony before it even begins growing. Rainwater works best. Well water is excellent. If you only have tap water, leave it sitting uncovered for 24 hours so the chlorine can evaporate naturally. Now, prepare the potatoes. Take about 1 pound of ordinary potatoes, roughly 2 or 3 medium-sized potatoes. Wash them, but do not peel them. Cut them into chunks and boil them for 20 to 30 minutes until they become soft enough to mash easily. The potato starch acts as food for the microbes. The boiling water becomes a nutrient-rich broth that will feed the bacterial explosion inside the bucket. Next comes the mineral source. Add approximately 2 tablespoons of unrefined sea salt or natural rock salt. Never use iodized table salt. The minerals inside natural salt help stabilize the microbial environment while discouraging harmful organisms. Now comes the most important ingredient of all forest soil. Go to a healthy, undisturbed forest. Push aside the dry leaves and collect the dark, crumbly soil underneath. This layer is filled with fungal threads, bacteria, and microorganisms that already know how to build fertile living soil. You only need 1 or 2 cups. Place the boiled potatoes into a cloth pouch or clean sock. Place the forest soil into another pouch. Submerge both inside the bucket and stir everything together gently. Then place the bucket somewhere shaded between 60 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Cover it loosely with cloth or a lid, but never seal it airtight because the fermentation produces gas. Now nature takes over. Within 24 hours, you will usually see foam forming on the surface. By 48 to 72 hours, the bubbling becomes much stronger. That foam is the sign that the microbial colony is fully active. At this stage, dilute the solution at a ratio of 1 part JMS to 10 parts water before applying it to soil. And here is the incredible part. Once the colony is alive, you can keep reproducing it forever. A single finished batch can start unlimited future buckets using nothing more than potatoes, water, and time. Gardeners who use microbial solutions like JMS for an entire growing season often describe the same transformation again and again. The soil changes first. Compacted clay begins loosening. Sandy soil holds water longer. The ground becomes darker, softer, and easier to work with. Earthworms return. Organic matter breaks down faster. The entire garden starts behaving more like a living ecosystem than a lifeless growing medium. Then the plants begin changing. Roots expand more aggressively. Leaves become darker green. Growth accelerates. Many growers report stronger disease resistance, healthier fruit production, and noticeable yield increases after repeated applications. But it is important to stay realistic. JMS is not magic. It does not replace compost mulch or healthy organic matter. The microbes still need carbon-rich material to feed on after they enter the soil. Severely damaged soil may take time to recover even with regular microbial applications. Temperature also matters. Cold weather slows fermentation dramatically, and freezing temperatures can kill the active culture completely. The solution itself also has a short lifespan. Normally, JMS remains strongest for about 2 or 3 weeks before the microbial balance begins shifting toward unpleasant anaerobic fermentation. And never apply it undiluted. Young seedlings especially can become stressed if the microbial concentration is too strong. But when used properly, this simple bucket becomes more than a fertilizer. It becomes a starter culture for rebuilding living soil naturally. What makes this story remarkable is not just the science. It is the fact that none of this knowledge was patented, hidden, or locked behind corporations. Johan Q spent decades teaching farmers how to produce their own biological inputs instead of depending entirely on chemical agriculture. He published the recipes openly. He gave away the methods freely. His son continued the work through the Jadam movement, translating these ideas into systems simple enough for ordinary people to use at home with almost no equipment. The knowledge was always there. It was simply ignored, untranslated, or buried beneath decades of industrial agriculture marketing. Meanwhile, the most powerful microorganisms on Earth continued living quietly beneath every healthy forest floor on the planet. Waiting for someone to notice them again. Today, the science is no longer controversial. Modern microbiology has already confirmed what traditional farmers understood. Long ago, healthy soil is alive. And once you learn how to multiply that life, everything about gardening begins to change. So maybe the future of agriculture is not hidden inside a laboratory. Maybe it has been sitting underneath fallen leaves this entire time. If you found this valuable, subscribe to Buried Knowledge for more forgotten systems, hidden biology, and regenerative techniques that modern agriculture left behind. Because sometimes, the oldest knowledge turns out to be the most powerful.